It's another K-Town beat.
YouTube, it's your boy, Mr. Outliner. I'm back, and today I got the light fade. Now, the tricky thing with this haircut for me was he had swirls all over his head, and I did not realize it, but I still fixed it, made a way through, made it look nice like it's supposed to. You dig what I'm saying? So, the thing about the light fade, the shadow fade, it's really close like a ball fade, but it's not. You can still see the line up all the way around. Now, for me, I like to start my guideline the exact same way that I would do like a drop fade or mid fade, somewhere up in there. But I want to give it a certain type of look for me. This is a kind of different fade. It's like in between a mid and a high. I mean, mid and a drop. So that's what we do. We start our first guideline and we work our way all the way around the head. Now, after that, we come back and we get ready to knock the bulk off the top. So what I used on the top was, because he's coming from dreads. When I cut his hair about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he had dreads for the longest time. So now he's trying to go back to the wave thing. He want to start over, go to waves and stuff like that. So his hair is really not trained. And because he has swirls and I left it thick last time, it's not in a specific pattern yet, right? You can kind of see his waves coming through, but it's not in a specific pattern. So right here on the left side, right here, kind of like where I was just cutting it, typically a person does not have swirls in this area, and I'm cutting it with the normal flow pattern that a haircut or the hair would lay, right? So he has it right here, he has it in the middle, and he also has it on the right side, right? And normally right up in this area on the right side, right corner, top corner where my hand is right now, that's normally where you get the swirl pattern. So the best thing about this was in allowed me to fix it, and I knew this, going in to where I used a bigger guard, right? And by me using a bigger guard, it gave me room to, when I ran over the swirls, I can come back and fix it with a one guard. Because I used a 1.5, I can use a one guard to knock off the bulk and excess places in the places where it's thick, and bring it down to a 1 to match the swirls, right? And the rest will just be fading. So right here, that's what I'm doing. I'm using a 1. Now, after that, you want to come back and start it. We coming up like a 1/2 inch right there. You see what I did, right? And you want to try to remove that bottom guideline as much as possible without removing it. So, we open up our blade all the way open. So, I always teach all about the approach, the system, the execution, the detail. The approach was we looked at it, we know we want to do a light fade, shadow fade. We want to start our guideline the same way we would on a drop fade. And our system is really like the guards that we use. And really, if you pay attention to a lot of my videos, I only use 2, maybe 3 guards. So I don't have that many steps in my fading process. So right here, I got the one guard. I started with no guard. I got my one guard. One guard right now, I'm using it to remove the line that I made with no guard. open, right? With no guard open. So I came back with the one guard open, and I'm trying to remove that bulk and that line. I'm trying to fade into the hair at this point, right? I'm trying to fade into the hair, right? So that's what we're doing. We got it. We fading into the hair. Now, remember that when you're doing a haircut, you have to keep both hands active, right? One hand, like I'm using my second hand right now, I'm really stretching the skin. I'm using my thumb to stretch the skin, right? Or my palm, whatever you want to call it. I'm using it. See that? I stretch the skin because if you pay close attention to his hair, you have indentions right along the line where the comb is now, right? So in order to make it flat the way I need it, how I'm stretching it, I have to stretch the skin to get it flat to make everything be consistent, to try to get the haircut consistent. Also, I'm using the corner of the blade here. Using the corner of the blade because that's like that gives me a way to blend better. You know what I mean? It's easier. It's not gonna make a hard line. That's why you use the corner of the blade, because it's not gonna make a hard line, right? And you can do that with guards on, no guard, whatever. Same thing. You can even do it with trimmers. I've done it a bunch of times to remove a line, a hard line that I made, on a haircut. So look how the fade is coming out. The fade is already starting to come together, right? And we only use one guard. Well, two, we use the 1.5 on top. But I'm saying as far as the fading part goes, so far we've only used one guard for the fading. We use no blade open, one guard open. I always tell you to go open to close. Of course, there's other ways for you to do it. You don't have to go open to close. The way that I'm teaching it is because it minimizes your mistakes, and it gives you room if you just so happen to make a mistake, right? So going open to close can help you out if you stick to it. You know what I'm saying? So you stretch the skin, fade it, hit the corners of the blade with it, try to, get everything, get the bulk, try to get everything to sit in just right, try to make sure it blends well. Now, as you can see, we took our time. We got the blend. Everything is coming together just how I like it. Man, that's a nice blend. Remember, though, stretch the skin in order to achieve the look that you're trying to get. Now, let's do the same thing to the other side. And on this side, we do the exact same thing. Now, I'll speed it up. Just take time, look at the process, watch me do the same steps. I got the same 1/2 inch. I still got the blade open. I'm coming up, I'm fading, I'm using the one guard. All I used was open blade and an open one to achieve this fade. Now, so the way that we faded both sides, when you get to the back, you don't have much to do to the back. And I know a lot of times I don't show you the back, but this time I have to, right? So it's the same concept, right? We go up half an inch, but you kind of want it to drop a little bit more in the back. So in the back, you kind of not as high up as on the sides, but you come up some, you clean up the bottom, go against the flow pattern of the hair. The thing about the back is you got to take your time. You got to fade multiple ways, left, right, center, up, down. You know what I mean? You got to do a lot of that. So the other thing that you can do is remember to knock off the bulk, right? Knock off the bulk. And I want to say something. If you're a barber, up and coming barber, you want to get questions answered, follow me on Clubhouse. I'm on Clubhouse. If you have Clubhouse, follow me on it. It's Mr.Outliner, the same as my YouTube, the same as my Instagram. Make sure you follow me if you want to ask questions, get free advice, information. Hey, get on Clubhouse, and when you see me open up a room, jump in, put your notifications on, right? And I'll answer questions directly. You know what I mean? It's an easy way to connect with people and network, if that's what you want to do. So anyway, you knock the buck off. The same thing that we was doing on the sides, right? The exact same thing. So you have to just take a little bit more time with it, but you see how it's going. You see it's fading into the fade, but we're fading into the cowlick or the swirls that's in his head right now. That's what we're doing. We fading into that. Okay, so now we made it to the lineup, and you got to get the Mr.Outliner detailing miss. Hey man, I gotta reload, man. Y'all knocked me out the box on the thing, man. I re-up and now everything's gone, so it might be. I still got like a couple bottles left, but I need to restock, so it might take like 2 or 3 weeks for me to get some and restock. But I'll definitely let you know when I get some. So anyway, once you spray the detailing mist, you brush it down to make the hair lay down. That's what the detailing mist does. It makes the hair lay down. Now you see the left side of his head is higher, right, than the right side of the screen, right? So you kind of you want to start in the middle and kind of try to find a way to work your way through, right? Because his hair is like that, I kind of like to start on the higher side first to get the line to line up everything with the higher side. And I like to, when I'm showing it, I like to show it from a front view, because a lot of times on YouTube you see people, they don't really show you from a front perspective, just like I'm showing you. They'll show you like from the side and don't show you how to make everything come together, even if it's imperfect, right? And I'm showing you this and it's imperfect, but I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna get it just right. You know what I mean? So and I'm gonna use the razor with the hot lather cream Wahl sent me a hot lather machine. I'm gonna show y'all how to use that too. Y'all know y'all ain't used to seeing me pull out the razor because I be feeling like, hey, I didn't use no enhancements on this haircut, but I be feeling like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like it's already crispy. You don't need that. But if you want that, I can give it to you though, right? Um, so I like to show it from the front so you can see that, right? Because every haircut is not a perfect haircut, even though what you see on YouTube is what we want you to see, or on Instagram or Facebook or whatever you on. People will show you just the best part of the haircut. They don't show you the process, the whole steps, everything, right? You know what I'm saying? How imperfect his lineup was, right? His left side was higher. How to get it to connect to the right side. You see how I'm using my finger to come across because I want it to line up. I'm pointing to the sides to let you know this is how you look at a lineup to try to get it straight, right? It's a bunch of other stuff. You have to use your mirror. You have to step back. You got to look at it. It's a bunch of things that go into getting a lineup, right? So you see how I got his line. No enhancements. It's sharp. It's crisp. That's what the detailing mist can do for you, right? So right here, I'm asking him, do he want sideburns? He don't want sideburns. So I'm gonna blend it out like a taper. I will give him the curve, but the bottom of it is really gonna be like a taper. Now you can see how I got the line. Like I said, I made it close enough to where you can still see the line all the way around. Tapered out the tip, the bottom of it, right to the ear, the top of the ear, and then I come back and I line the back of it up also. Now I come back and I get ready to match the other side. So you starting from the middle, right? By starting in the middle both times on each side, it kind of keep you in line with the other side. So that's why it's important on starting in the middle because it's really like your balance beam, right? It's your starting point for both sides, actually. You know what I mean? So with that, you can kind of set yourself up for a successful lineup, right? By doing that, right? You see this line is crispy. I didn't put no enhancements on it, right? And y'all was able to see that. And on the side, you want to just do it. You want to make sure you're not like digging in too far, right? So here, I get a line together. I know I might need to come back and fix it, but I want to get a line in there. But my main focus right now is to make sure the front line is straight. See this line up right here? So I'm thinking about doing a Zoom class just on how to do crispy lineup. And I think it's a need out there for it, how to do a crispy lineup up close, like really up close on how to do where you should sit your blade, how to look at it and things like that. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So anyway, so this is, you see how the fade sit, you see how the lineup is fitting in there, everything is coming along just the way that I wanted to. And you see the curve, you can still see how I was able to put a line even though it looks bald, right? It looks bald, but it's really not bald. And I can show you the back on this side, right, where I'm able to make that light line, right? I'm able to make a light line right here because like I said, we got it close. It's not bald, right? It's very close to bald and it looks bald. And that's the effect that you want to give with a shadow fade. Right, and you can make it thicker if you want to, but this is the way that I wanted to do it because this is what he asked for. But I gave him my own personal look. When you're a barber, you want to customize the look for the client. That's what separates you from other barbers, right? Because you know how to customize that look for that person, right? And you see the back, you see how it came out blended. Down the bottom, I just faded out just like a taper. So I cleaned up the bottom, no line on the bottom. Now, after everything like that, I want to put the shaving cream on them. hot lather. It's warm. The lather is warm now. The reason why you want it to be warm is because it's gonna make the hair soft. So when you put the razor on, it's gonna make the hair come right off. It's gonna slide off, right? It's gonna slide right off, and that's what you want to do. So you get a wet towel, a warm towel, and you wipe it off. Now you see how I'm using the razor and I'm just coming straight down. Now part of this, I'm holding my phone in my hand, in my left hand, because I'm recording part of it on my phone so I can have something to post to Instagram. But I'll put my phone down and I'll show you exactly really how to use your hand to do it. So you want to stretch the skin, and I'm using my thumb on my left hand to actually stretch the skin, right? And I like to come down on it. Now, when I was first out of barber school, this was the thing to do, use a hot lather machine and have that. So I come from an old school background. I just really don't use it like that anymore because it's messy and requires extra little work and stuff like that. But and I'm not really into it. And I can do the same thing with a quick dry shave, right? Only if you have a lot of hair to remove and you're doing like a real shave on a face or something like that is when I like to use hot lather. But if you that type of person that like to use the razor, a hot lather machine is the way to go. So if you want one, Wahl has a good one. It heats up fast. It doesn't clog up or anything like that. Looks nice on your station. You know what I mean? So if you're looking for one to get a hot lather machine, get one from Wahl, right? So the razor is beneficial. Some people like it because they feel like it makes the lineup a little sharper, make it last longer, which it does in both cases. Maybe an extra day. Nothing more than that, though, actually. So, it just helps make the haircut look cleaner, right? So that's what you want to do, make the haircut look cleaner. Now, the last thing that we want to do is we want to use my 360 wave pomade since he's trying to get his waves, right? And I don't know if y'all know I got a wave pomade. So you put it in your hand enough, for your palm, rub it in your hand, warm it up, put it on top of the hair. Now, you can already see how my wave pomade makes his waves pop, right? We're making his waves pop with this, right? We got him looking right. So after that, you come and you brush it, right? And then bam, you see how it's going. Y'all see what time it is. You know what I'm saying? And it moisturizes it. It's not too thick. It won't clog your hair up. You won't have dandruff and stuff like that. Some of these wave pomades make it where your hair has dandruff. And you see how the look that it achieves. And it smells good. So anyway, that's the barber tutorial. We got the shadow fade, the light fade, whatever you want to call it, right? But do this for me. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend or tell a friend. You know how we do it. Until next time, we got love, peace, and hair grease. I'm out.